Welcome to Newsbeacon, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. The world runs on stuff. Your phone, your car, your food, all of it travels vast distances. Every day, millions of products and raw materials are on the move, crossing oceans and continents to reach factories, stores, and ultimately your home. The global economy is built on this constant flow of goods, and without it, modern life as we know it would grind to a halt. For centuries, the fastest way to move goods globally has been by sea, but continents force ships into long, costly detours. Oceans may seem vast and open, but land masses act as massive barriers, forcing ships to take circuitous routes that add days or even weeks to their journeys. These detours not only increase fuel costs and shipping times, but also raise the price of everything we buy. Imagine sailing from New York to San Francisco without a shortcut. You'd have to go around South America, adding thousands of miles. Before shortcuts existed, ships braved treacherous waters like Cape Horn, facing storms and unpredictable currents. The journey was not just long, but dangerous, and many ships never made it. Canals are the ultimate shortcuts, man-made waterways that connect oceans, slashing travel times and costs. By cutting through narrow strips of land, canals allow ships to bypass entire continents, saving weeks of travel and millions in expenses. They are the invisible highways of the sea, quietly powering global commerce. They're not just ditches, they're engineering marvels that have reshaped global trade and power. Building a canal means moving mountains, taming rivers, and overcoming enormous technical challenges. These projects require vision, resources, and international cooperation, and their impact lasts for generations. The Suez and Panama Canals are prime examples, turning choke points into strategic assets. These narrow passages have become the beating hearts of world trade, handling a huge share of all goods shipped by sea. Their importance cannot be overstated. Nations that control these passages wield immense influence, charging tolls and shaping trade flows. The power to open or close a canal, or to set its fees, can tip the balance of global economics, and even spark international tensions. The Panama Canal, for over a century, has been the main artery between the Atlantic and Pacific, cementing U.S. dominance. Its construction was a turning point in history, allowing the U.S. Navy and commercial fleets to project power and reach new markets with unprecedented speed. The ability to move ships quickly between oceans is a cornerstone of American power. It's not just about trade, it's about military strategy, diplomacy, and the ability to respond to crises anywhere in the world. Any new canal project is a big deal. It's not just a shortcut, it's a shift in global trade dynamics. A new route can change the balance of power, create new winners and losers, and force countries and companies to rethink their strategies. Competition from a new route can lower costs, provide alternatives, and shift economic power. It can break monopolies, open up new markets, and make global trade more resilient to disruptions. The announcement of a major new canal sends shockwaves through global logistics and politics. Investors, governments, and shipping companies all scramble to understand the implications, knowing that fortunes can be made or lost overnight. Everyone involved in trade must pay attention and rethink their strategies. From shipping giants to small exporters, the opening of a new canal can mean new opportunities, or new challenges. That's why the world is watching Mexico's latest move. A new canal here could reshape not just regional trade, but the entire global shipping landscape, with ripple effects felt in every corner of the world. Enter Mexico's interoceanic corridor, a bold new project with major Chinese backing. Instead of a water canal, it's a modern land bridge, upgraded railways and highways across Mexico's narrowest stretch, linking the Gulf of Mexico to the Pacific. The plan: unload containers from ships, move them by train, reload them on the other side, all in hours, not days. China is investing $4.5 billion, funding port upgrades, new terminals, high-speed rail, and industrial parks. These parks aim to attract manufacturers, adding value to goods in transit. With Chinese capital and expertise, Mexico's long-held dream is becoming reality. This isn't just regional infrastructure, it's a global game-changer. To grasp Mexico's ambition, you need to understand the Panama Canal's legacy. Opened in 1914, it cut a 51-mile path through Panama, saving ships from an 8,000-mile detour around South America. The US built and controlled it, cementing its power in the Americas. The canal's lock system lifts ships over land, but it's always had limits, especially as ships grew larger. A 2016 expansion allowed bigger vessels, but water shortages and congestion remain challenges. The canal is vital for US-Asia trade, carrying everything from grain to electronics. Tolls are high, but the time saved is worth it, until disruptions hit. As a single choke point, it's vulnerable. Drought, maintenance, or politics can snarl global supply chains. Its reliance on fresh water and aging infrastructure is a growing weakness. The Mexican corridor aims to exploit these vulnerabilities. It's a direct challenge to Panama's monopoly. Mexico's canal isn't a waterway at all, it's a high-speed land bridge, a bold reimagining of how continents can be connected. Instead of carving through rock and water, this canal is made of steel rails and humming engines, stretching across the Isthmus of Tehuantepec. Here's how it works. Massive ships arrive at the Pacific port of Salina Cruz, where their containers are swiftly offloaded onto waiting trains. These trains don't just crawl, they race across nearly 300 kilometers of track, cutting straight through southern Mexico to reach the Gulf port of Coatzacoalcos. At Coatzacoalcos, the process reverses. Containers are seamlessly transferred from rail back onto ships, which then set sail for destinations like the US East Coast or even as far as Europe, all without missing a beat. The entire journey, from Pacific to Atlantic, is designed to take less than 24 hours, an astonishing feat of modern logistics and coordination. Unlike traditional canals, there are no locks to engineer, no water levels to manage, and no risk of drought shutting down the route. The land bridge sidesteps the headaches of water shortages and complex infrastructure. It's all about logistics, speed, efficiency, and seamless coordination between ports, trains, and ships. Every step is optimized for minimal delay and maximum throughput. For shippers, this means bypassing the notorious congestion and long wait times at the Panama Canal, where ships can be delayed for days. The Mexican corridor is targeting the booming Asia-US East Coast trade, offering a faster, more reliable route for high-value goods that need to move quickly across the globe. Unlike Panama's continuous water journey, Mexico's land bridge sells speed, a rapid trip for the cargo itself, not just the vessel. This innovative system demands new levels of coordination, with control centers synchronizing ship arrivals, train departures, and port operations on both coasts. But it also unlocks new opportunities. Industrial parks and processing zones can spring up along the route, allowing for assembly, packaging, or even light manufacturing before goods continue their journey. In many ways, it's a 21st century solution for the ever-evolving demands of global trade, blending old routes with new technology and strategy. Ultimately, it's a fundamentally different approach, rethinking what a canal can be in a world where speed and flexibility are everything. China's $4.5 billion investment isn't charity. It's a calculated move in a high-stakes global game. This is about power, influence, and securing the future of Chinese trade. Beijing's leaders know that relying on US-controlled choke points like the Panama Canal leaves them vulnerable. If tensions rise, their access to crucial shipping lanes could be cut off or restricted. By investing in Mexico's Trans-Isthmus corridor, China is building a new, independent route to the Atlantic Ocean. This corridor bypasses the Panama Canal entirely, making Chinese exports less susceptible to US pressure or political disputes. But it's not just about trade routes. This is also a bold play to expand China's influence in Latin America, right in the backyard of the United States. Every handshake and signed deal strengthens China's presence in the region. The corridor is a flagship project for China's Belt and Road Initiative, a global infrastructure push that's already reshaping continents. By partnering with Mexico, China deepens diplomatic ties and gives its companies a foothold in North America's massive market. For Mexico, this partnership is a rare opportunity. It brings in billions of dollars, creates thousands of jobs, and offers a chance to transform some of the country's poorest and most neglected regions with new infrastructure and investment. Chinese capital is the engine making this ambitious project possible. In return, Mexico gains leverage in global trade negotiations and a stronger position in the international marketplace. Shippers and logistics companies are paying close attention. The Panama Canal is facing serious challenges. Droughts, long delays, and rising fees are making it less reliable than ever before. A reliable Mexican alternative could change the game. It introduces real competition, potentially lowering shipping costs, speeding up deliveries, and making global supply chains more resilient to disruption. For the world's supply chains, having a second major crossing between the Pacific and Atlantic is invaluable. It's a safety net against bottlenecks and geopolitical shocks. Ultimately, this is about reducing risk, seizing new opportunities, and reshaping the balance of power in global trade. The stakes are enormous for China, for Mexico, for the US, and for every nation that depends on the smooth flow of goods around the world. The corridor's benefits for Mexico go far beyond moving containers. Construction is creating thousands of jobs. Once running, ports, railways, and factories will need a skilled workforce. 10 new industrial parks are planned, with tax breaks to lure manufacturers. Southern Mexico could become a key hub for industries like auto parts and electronics. For shippers, the main draw is speed-moving goods coast to coast in under 24 hours. This is a game changer for time-sensitive cargo and just-in-time supply chains. Competition could force Panama to lower tolls, saving everyone money, and with 2 routes, global trade gets a vital backup if disaster strikes. The corridor faces big challenges, starting with the environment. The route cuts through biodiverse rainforests and wetlands, threatening habitats and endangered species. Critics warn of deforestation, pollution, and a lack of thorough environmental review. Financially, $4.5 billion is just the start. Cost overruns and delays are common in mega projects. The corridor must attract enough traffic to pay for itself and compete with Panama. Engineering hurdles are huge. Ports must handle giant ships, railways must run flawlessly. Any breakdown, strikes, derailments, or port delays could undermine the project's promise of speed. Success depends on convincing global shipping giants to reroute and trust the new system. Winning their business is a major test. The corridor is a political minefield at home and abroad. Indigenous communities along the route fear displacement and loss of heritage, sparking protests and legal battles. Political shifts in Mexico could threaten funding or change the project's direction. Internationally, the US is wary of China's growing influence so close to home. Washington may pressure Mexico to limit China's role or protect US interests. The project gives China a strategic foothold in North America, raising security concerns. Mexico must balance its relationships with both superpowers. The outcome could reshape North American geopolitics for decades. The Mexican interoceanic corridor is more than a shortcut. It's a symbol of shifting global power. If it succeeds, it could redraw the trade map, ending Panama's monopoly and forcing innovation. Competition means lower costs, more efficiency, and greater resilience for global supply chains. China's investment signals a new era where infrastructure is a tool of geopolitics. For Mexico, the rewards could be transformative: jobs, revenue, and a new role in global logistics. But the risks, environmental, financial, and political, are just as great. Success will require flawless execution and careful diplomacy. Mexico is walking a tightrope between 2 superpowers. The world is watching to see if this new path leads to a more connected, competitive future. The Isthmus of Tehuantepec is now center stage in a global drama.